Hello everybody, in this Photoshop tutorial we're going to be covering the basics of removing acne and other defects from your photos. And the main tool we're going to be focusing on using in this video is the spot healing brush. With the spot healing brush, you press and hold over a portion of your photo document where the defect is occurring. And based on the information that's surrounding that area, Photoshop automatically calculates what that area should look like if it was supposed to look like flawless skin or without the defect in it, in other words. So it's very simple in order to use this tool. You simply select the healing brush from the left toolbar and then press and hold over the area you're trying to eliminate the defect from. One of the tricks to using this tool is that you don't always get it right the first time. Sometimes when you do the spot healing brush over a piece of acne or another defect, it's not always going to look perfectly in line with the rest of the document. It might look like it was photoshopped, in other words. And the way you really get around this is you just have to redo it a couple times from different angles and see what works best. Think of it as using a sketching pencil, where you're going to basically sketch out the shape of a character you're going to draw, but you don't necessarily know exactly how it's going to look yet because you're still in the sketching process. So you may draw multiple lines, you may erase some of those lines, and you have to give it a couple shots before you get it just right. One other thing I'll mention about the spot healing brush here is that generally you want it to be about the size of the defect you're trying to remove. If you make it too large, then using the spot healing brush over a large area may make it so that the healing is very visible in the final image. Now here's a good example of an image you might want to slightly Photoshop. You have a picture of a dog and her owner, presumably, but on her face you basically have a huge zit, and that's the only thing that's really messing with. So by using the spot healing brush tool, we can remove this imperfection from the image and make it look like it was never there. But here I'm going to let multiple attempts play out. You can see that me just going over it once doesn't always make it look right. In these cases where you're trying to remove a defect and make it look correct, you often have to undo what you just tried to do and give it another shot. Trying to tackle the issue with a larger brush or from a different angle may give you a better result in your final image. So if you're trying to make something that really looks nice, I recommend you spend the time, go over it multiple times, and wait until you get it right before you actually publish. One more thing I'd like to reiterate is that you can work on a duplicate of the original image by creating a new layer over in the layers window. And if you do that, then whatever changes you make for better or worse can always be deleted and redone. It's just good practice whenever you're working within Photoshop. So here you're going to see me do a few more attempts on this zit to get it right. Note that in some of these attempts it just doesn't look quite natural. It would probably look okay if you zoom out, but we do want the red that's leaving behind in the zit to look quite natural with the cheek that's to the upper right of it. And I think in this attempt I actually have it quite good. Maybe I'll undo and redo it one more time. And yeah, there we go. So we zoom out, and it actually looks pretty natural for the most part. Of course, you can spend as much or as little time as you want on these types of changes, but once you get it down with the healing spot brush tool, which shouldn't be too hard because it's a very useful and powerful tool, then you can go ahead and apply whatever else you need to the image, filters, or just publish it to Facebook. So with that, thanks for watching this Photoshop tutorial, and I'll see you in my next video.